With everything going on in America, I feel like we're going to have a revolution, and a lot of people aren't ready for it. You know, we have a lot of people that are militiaized. We have a lot of things that are going on that people are going to take a stand for. I mean, shit, people were ballsy enough to storm the Capitol a few years back and, check the government back into place. And I think we're going to have a thing on our hands that people aren't ready for, just like, the LA riots back in the 90s when people were fighting the cops, when people were fighting the cops over George Floyd, the whole Black Lives Matter movement came into play. I don't think people are ready for this shit. If Kamala Harris wins the 2024 election, I really don't think people are ready. I don't have a problem with immigrants, especially if they come over here legally, but I think what the Democrats are doing right now is they're bringing people over here legally to win a majority of their vote right now. Because if you come here and we give you, free housing, hotels, money, this, that, the third, you're gonna come over here and you're gonna vote for me if I give you everything that you need. I mean, I do think that the Democrats are cheating and they're trying to one up Donald Trump by doing that, and honestly, I see a problem with that. We have people like Taylor Swift talking about how she'll leave America if Donald Trump becomes our president. Well, he was already our president once, and I'm sorry if you desert all your fans. You're a fucking piece of shit. And at the end of the day, your husband Travis Kelce is sponsored by Pfizer, which is a COVID vaccine, and Bud Light, which has a whole lot of transgender propaganda, and there's nothing wrong with that. But realize who the fuck you're supporting and look at what you're doing to your fans, because a majority of your fans are really young. If not, I'd probably say 6 to 23 is your big category for a lot of listeners who listen to Taylor Swift, maybe even some 30-year-olds who are in fucking denial about life. But I mean, you want to be a country star and talk about living in the country, and you don't even know the Constitution if it hits you in the fucking face. You don't know the fucking Bible. You ain't a real country thumper. You were probably groomed by fucking Diddy, to be honest with you, for an image. I don't think you're really country like that, because if you were, you would stand up for the people, and you're going against everybody who supports you, in my opinion. And that's just honestly brutally fucking fact when you look at your disc choreography at the end of the day. So, I mean, come on, man. They've approached Kai Cenat and all these other streamers and content creators that don't want to get involved with politics because they just want to make content. They want to live stream, they want to have their fan base without being political, because they're playing it smart. They know that they'll lose views. They know that they'll lose fans. And it's not about the politics for them on camera. It's about their fans. It's about the content, the video games they play, the jokes that they make, the fun that they have. And they're just trying to create fun for the kids. And, I think the Democrats are trying to push their agenda upon kids, not just with the transgender thing, but, trying to brainwash people into being Democrats and not allowing people to have a free, open mind. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being a Democrat or a Republican or a liberal or anything like that. But where the problem lies is where people take it to the fucking extremes. And I think you get what I mean about being extreme. People don't like extreme Republicans who ride or die for Donald Trump. People don't like the extreme LGBTQ shit because they don't get it. They don't understand it. My problem lies where they're trying to force feed all this propaganda down our throats, expecting us to gobble it the fuck up. And half the people who gobble it up are just turning 18 to 21 and they're just now able to vote. So of course they're going to go cast their vote to the fucking weirdo that they see all over the internet. And it's a weird thing too, because I did notice last night, I've been noticing this for the last couple days. I'm a Republican. I support Donald Trump and the whole Republican Party, right? All I've been getting on YouTube and Amazon Prime and on my TV, all I've been getting for ads is Kamala Harris ads and Democrat ads. And I don't support that. And I don't ever go out of my way to look up Kamala Harris because I don't care. And she's not even in my search history. So for me to constantly be getting these fucking propaganda videos for the Democrats and for Kamala Harris really goes to show you that they're paying Google, they're paying YouTube to have these ad fucking placements to shit on Donald Trump, to shit on the Republicans. Okay, instead of shitting on people with your propaganda, how come you haven't made any tangible propaganda videos that make you look good? The only thing you do is smear campaign. And that's what I can't stand about the fucking Democrats. Democrats. You got to make everybody look bad to make yourself look better. But nowhere along the line the last 6 months has Kamala Harris said anything to make herself look good. The only thing she's done is paint Donald Trump to be a fucking asshole, which isn't true. So if you guys watch my content, I urge you to go vote, because right now we're looking at a map that shows Kamala Harris needs 45 votes. She's sitting at 225 votes, and Donald Trump is sitting at 219, and he needs 51. This isn't between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, because in the next 4 years, we're going to have somebody else. This is a battle between right and wrong. They make it seem like it's Bloods versus Crips with the blue versus red, and at the end of the day, it's right versus fucking wrong. People have no morals, they have no fucking backbone, and they're not willing to stand on what the fuck they speak. Oh, if Kamala Harris doesn't become president, then I'm fleeing the country, and I'm gonna desert my people, and this and that, and fucking fuck Donald. You know what? How about we say fuck you for a change, right? How about we get heard as the people? Who gives a fuck about a Taylor Swift? She's a billionaire, one of the richest people on the fucking planet. Any content you make does not apply to us. It doesn't matter how sad you sound. It doesn't matter who rates your songs, since how you don't rate your own. You know what I'm saying? You bring nothing to the table. There's no way for people to relate to you because you're worth billions of fucking dollars. How can you be that sad unless Diddy touched you? Honestly. And last time I checked, before Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift was dating minors and doing all this sketchy Democratic bullshit. I want to see Epstein's list. I want to see Diddy's list. We've been waiting years on all this shit that we know exists, but us, the people, have not gotten any fucking answers. Again, this is not a fight between Republican and Democrat. This is a fight between right and wrong. It's not red versus blue. It's right and fucking wrong. If you're not willing to fucking bear a child, you should not be willing to stick your penis in a woman's vagina. If you are not willing to take care of a baby, you should not be having sex. And I'm not speaking for sexual assault victims, because that's a gray area and a different subject. And let me dial it back just a little bit. Donald Trump took us out of the war in Afghanistan. I seen the other night Kamala Harris get up on stage and say no other president has got Afghanistan soldiers out of Afghanistan other than Joe Biden. She said Joe Biden pulled our soldiers out of Afghanistan. No, the president of Afghanistan was a pussy and deserted his own fucking country, so we pulled our soldiers out of there under the notion of Donald fucking J. Trump. And when I say that people take things to the extremes, they really fucking do, because if you look at Kamala Harris, for instance, and you look at the Democrats, and you look at all the liberals, and you look at everything that's happened to Donald Trump the last few years, all the smear campaigns, all the negative talk, not even just that, like, you know, the elections and like trying to talk to people and the polls and whatever, Donald Trump has not made himself look like a fucking asshole. Even if he did, though, he's not afraid to say what he wants to say, and that's why I respect the man. He's not going to sit there and stay fucking silent. But at the end of the day, when it comes to extremists, just like ISIS, they're extreme Muslims, and the Muslims don't condone, you know, the things that they do. You know, look at all the people that went after fucking Donald Trump. He's had multiple assassination attempts on his life. Nobody deserves to die. I don't care if you're black, white, gay, straight, bi. I don't care if you're fucking Mexican, white, alien. I don't care. Nobody deserves to fucking die by the hand of somebody else, because you don't get to play God unless your life is in danger. And the fact that they have had attempts on his life and they still smear campaign him and they still bring it up and they still talk about it and they still treat him like a piece of shit for it and they still talk shit about him for it. Come on, dog. Why do you got to make people look so fucking bad? Realistically, what are you going to do to help us other than shit talk people? They say, good, I'm glad he had an attempt on his life. He should be dead. Oh, somebody should go kill Donald fucking Trump. I see it all over Twitter. I see it all over Facebook. I see it all over YouTube. I see it all over the news. And whatever news channel you watch, they pick a side. CNN, Fox 25, WMUR, Fox 5, Fox 10, don't matter. They all pick a side. Every news channel is either Republican, Democrat, liberal, or independent, and they give those views and they smear campaign their opponents like this is like we're in the streets, like we're fighting with guns. And I'm sorry, the way people want to be anarchists, they got another thing coming with, you know, Donald Trump not having a lead in votes right now. I think people are going to get very upset, and people are going to take the time to go out of their way to prove a fucking point. And I think people are done. Kamala Harris wants to take away our guns. Kamala Harris has locked up over 1,500 people, black people, mind you, black people in the black community, over pot, a drug that was a scheduled 1 substance up there with heroin and LSD and cocaine and all the worst drugs, right? It has become decriminalized and legal in most states, legal. And she's still locking people up for it, and she laughs about it. She'll tell you to your face that she is fucking black. She is a fucking Indian. Here's my explanation to this. Stop lying. Stop fear-mongering. Stop trying to get people involved in shit that doesn't fucking matter, and stop smearing people's image and defamating people's character just to make yourself look fucking good. They'll blind you and tell you that the problem is Donald Trump putting up the Mexican border. We have more Mexicans coming from Canada than we do Mexico. They go to Canada with either a working visa or a travel voucher, and then they go over there, and then they either sneak their way into the United States, or they, you know, go through the legal precautions to come into the US as a tourist. But we don't know what the fuck these people are up to. I'm sorry, dog. Mexico has a big cocaine trade. I'm not a fucking racist, but even the president says it's not my problem that the U.S. is dealing with all this cocaine. It should be a U.S. issue. Okay, well, all these immigrants are fucking getting here. All this cocaine is getting here. All these opiates and benzodiazepines are showing up here, right? You know, your fentanyl, your Xanax, all your fake counterfeit drugs, right? They're coming here, and they're coming here somehow. And you know, we don't know what the fuck these people are up to. And they're not even coming from the border of Mexico because there's a fucking wall. A majority of them are coming from Canada. And this is a proven statistic. This is a proven fact. And they'll smear Donald Trump and make him seem like he's the issue when in reality he is not. The problems are bigger than him. They're bigger than Kamala Harris. And I have not seen one positive Kamala Harris video. And that is just a fact. And at the end of the day, we even got Joe Biden out here supporting Donald Trump, wearing Donald Trump hats, because his own Democratic Party does not support him, and they forced him out of the election for rerunning for presidency. His own people forced him out. Isn't that crazy? So when you notice that and you look at that fact, because everything I'm speaking is true, they pushed Joe Biden out, and you look at that fact, his own people, how can you support that? Your own people want you gone at any cost. That's disgusting. I hate Joe Biden, but at the end of the day, he deserved to still have his run and talk his shit just like Donald Trump, because it's our amendments, baby. It's our fucking right. It's the United States of America. What people fail to realize is we're allowed to do and say whatever we want, as long as we're not making threats and we're not posing harm to other people. Who gives a flying fuck? When Donald Trump was president, he pardoned Kodak Black and Lil Wayne and multiple other rappers of charges. They could have done time up to life, or however, maybe 15 years, right? And federal prison for the crimes that they committed. And Donald Trump freed those people from prison. You know why? Because those people have an image to portray, and they have kids that follow them, just like kids follow Taylor Swift, and they're listening to her talk about propaganda with Kamala Harris and shit talking Donald Trump. So Donald Trump is playing the game twice as good as her. So check fucking mate. I mean, you want to fuck around and find out, Fafo? I mean, come on, seriously. With everybody trying to get swing from, you know, all these content creators, Twitch streamers, video game players, pro athletes, singers, songwriters, musicians, like, it's become more than just about politics. They're trying to embed it in every fucking aspect. They do it on commercials, they do it on live streams, they do it through fast food ads. Come on, man. America is not America anymore because it's strictly about the politicians every 4 fucking years. And somebody's got to stand up at some point and realize Donald Trump ain't the fucking bad guy, as bad as you want him to be. And as much as people shit talk him, smear campaign him, and paint him to be a bad character, he really ain't that bad of a guy. I can't even afford fucking groceries under Joe Biden's administration, and I'm tired of living it. I'm 26 years old, still living with my parents, making music, working a full-time fucking job, trying my ass off, and I still can barely survive till this fucking day. And the only people who support Kamala Harris, it seems like, is people who have money, because they don't give a fuck. They want to see the middle and low class wipe the fuck out. That's what it seems like to me. Like, I'm sorry I'm growing up in a trailer, bro, and there's nothing that I could do about that. I'm sorry you see me as white fucking trash. You can kiss my fucking ass. They want to push Donald Trump out because he is not an elitist like them. He is not an extremist like them. And, you know, we have all these problems going on. We are fine with Vladimir Putin. We are fine with Russia. And then Joe Biden came into office. Now we're at war. We have all these issues. We're in all this debt, giving all these people all these guns, all this money, all this food. We're not even helping our own veterans at home. And our issues at home lie at home. We shouldn't be fucking with anybody else. And they want to make Donald Trump look so fucking bad. But my whole point to this audio is to just try and get people to actually tune into the facts and go vote for Donald fucking Trump, baby. 2024, we're gonna make it happen. And if it don't, it's just proven that people are faking shit. They're lying shit. You know, people are gonna fucking fake the votes. They're gonna get the majority votes from the immigrants and the gays, and the blacks don't even realize who they're voting for. And I'm sorry to say it that way, but they some of them really don't. I mean, look at YG. Fuck Donald Trump, and he's still on that shit from all these years later, bro. Come on, dog. He'd pardon you if you needed it. You know what I mean? Like, you're picking the wrong side of the fucking fence, dog. And just go vote Donald Trump, man. I mean, at the end of the day, y'all, it's all about us. It ain't about them. That's the thing. That's what people fail to realize. This is about us, not about them. Us, the people, we the people. Like I said, I don't care if you're gay, straight, bi, black, alien, whatever the fuck you may be. If you treat me with respect, I'm going to treat you with respect, and I'm going to respect your views. But I'm going to play an audio clip from Kamala Harris. Ask yourself, with the way this lady speaks and carries herself, is this who you want for your president?
Very important, as you have heard from so many incredible leaders, for us at every moment in time, and certainly this one, to see the moment in time in which we exist and are present, and to be able to contextualize it, to understand where we exist in the history and in the moment as it relates not only to the past but the future.
What the fuck does that mean? You said a whole lot of absolutely nothing, and she sounds just like Joe Biden. The government is going to keep hiding things from us. They're going to keep fucking us with bills. They're going to keep increasing our taxes. You know, none of this stuff is ever going to go away. It's never going to go down. They're going to keep killing people. They're going to keep fucking with people. I mean, come on. Look into MK Ultra. Look into Ruby Ridge. Look into all the things that happened with the CIA and the police forces back in the day because of the presidents that they were under. There has been no moderation, and America has been a fucking free-for-all for, I'd probably say, the last 60 fucking years. It's time for people to wake the fuck up and stop with the fucking shit. It's about me and you and respecting each other. It ain't about a Kamala Harris. Fuck her. They will lie, they will steal, they will cheat, they will do anything to fucking win, and they will do anything to undermine anybody. They make millions of dollars, bro. Look at some of the necklaces and earrings that Kamala Harris wears. You think she's worried about the middle and low class? Absolutely fucking not. And the only thing I could say to y'all is she wants to take your guns. She wants to lock you up for a little bit of weed. Well, if they're going to take our fucking guns, well, they got another thing coming. Stay on your toes, because you're probably going to need them shits more than ever. And stay frosty and watch his six. That's all I could say, because we got some dirty shit coming, and it doesn't take a rocket scientist to fucking feel sketchy bullshit.